Adverb word order. In English, we use adverbs. Oh boy, do we use adverbs. And let's not forget those adverb phrases. These things make sentences more descriptive. We have adverbs of manner, adverbs of place, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of time, adverb clauses of purpose or reason, and adverbs of degree. Now here's the really fun part. Each type of adverb has its own rules for placement in a sentence. Isn't English fun? Let's look at the rules on adverb word order, which you should definitely know. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner tell us how an action is done or how it happens. They answer the question, how? Words like well, quickly, softly, loudly, beautifully, dangerously, secretly, weakly, happily, sadly, hard, fast, quietly, slowly, roughly, greedily, nicely, badly, hungrily, angrily, thankfully. Adverbs of manner are usually placed after the main verb or after the object in a sentence. For example, after the main verb. If I say, he plays the drums, the question is, how? He plays well. He plays loudly. He plays beautifully. Or you can put the adverb after the object. He plays the drums well. He plays the drums loudly. He plays the drums beautifully. Please don't try to move these adverbs anywhere else in the sentence, because it would be terribly wrong. There's an adverb. Some of you are probably asking, what about a preposition before the verb's object? Great question. Let's take a look at these examples. Before the preposition, he listened secretly to their conversation. Before the verb, he secretly listened to their conversation. After the object, he listened to their conversation secretly. All three of these sentences mean the same thing. So, if you have trouble remembering which one to use, pick your favorite. Now let's look at adverbs of place. Adverbs of place show the location of the action or state. They answer the question, where? Adverbs of place: above, anywhere, behind, below, downward, everywhere, forward, here, in, inside, left, near, outside, over there, sideways, underneath, upward. Adverbs of place are usually after the main verb or at the end of the clause they modify. For example, after the main verb, he walked underneath the bridge. At the end of the clause, she ran with her friends everywhere. Here and there are special adverbs of place. They have special rules. For example, the food is here. Put the glass over there. She runs there every morning. Here and there can also be placed at the beginning of a sentence to add emphasis. If the subject of the sentence is a noun, here and there are followed by a verb. For example, here's my dog. There goes our plane. There went my money. If the subject of the sentence is a pronoun, here and there are followed by the pronoun. For example, here he is, here it is, there it is, there they are. Adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency show us the rate of the action or state. They answer the question, how often? Tonight, today, annually, hourly, frequently, now, eventually, monthly, later, sometimes, yesterday, nightly, soon, daily, occasionally, consistently, periodically, regularly, yearly, quarterly, never, rarely, often, always, normally, generally, weekly, soon. Adverbs of frequency are usually before the main verb but after helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs. Before the main verb. I always brush my hair after brushing my teeth. He usually eats in the car. We often chat online. There is, of course, an exception. When the main verb is to be, meaning am, is, was, were, are, be, being, been, the adverb is placed after the main verb. For example, adverbs of frequency with the verb to be. Mary is usually up early. He was always late for work. They are rarely unhappy. Before the main verb but after the auxiliary verb or helping verb. She has sometimes volunteered at the hospital. We have rarely used our old computer. Ted will never make a dinner without a microwave. And some, not all, adverbs of frequency can be at the beginning or end of a sentence to add emphasis to the meaning of the adverb. For example, occasionally they are late, or they are late occasionally. Sometimes I like children, or I like children sometimes. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time show us the time of the action or state. And you may ask, what is the difference between adverbs of time and adverbs of frequency? The main difference between them is that adverbs of frequency give extra information on how often an action happens, as opposed to when it happens. So, adverbs of time answer the question, when? Always, before, continuously, earlier, eventually, every day, finally, first, forever, infrequently, last, late, lately, later, monthly. Adverbs of time can be used to create emphasis in a sentence. Adverbs of time are most commonly put at the end of a sentence, but they can sometimes be at the beginning of a sentence to emphasize the time. For example, I'll study now. I'm just telling you, I'll study now. But if I say, now I'll study, maybe I was busy before. Maybe something else was keeping me occupied. I'm making a statement of importance. Now I'll study. It's the same with I'll do it later. I'm just telling you, I'll do it later. But if I want to stress the importance, I'll say, later I'll do it. Meaning I'm probably busy doing something now, but later I'll do it. I'm really stressing that importance. Adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree show us the strength or degree of the action or state. They answer the question, how much? To what degree? Very, highly, totally, perfectly, partially, almost, to, enough, just, quite, extremely. Adverbs of degree are usually before the adjective, adverb, or verb that they modify. For example, she is totally bored. She's a perfectly happy individual. He is extremely sore. There are exceptions to this rule. The words to, enough, very, and extremely are examples of adverbs of degree. And of course, they have their own rules. The adverb to has two meanings. To meaning also. This is placed at the end of the clause it modifies, often at the end of the sentence. For example, she's going to. We like pizza too. Do you want to go too? Fun fact, in British English you'll hear as well to mean too. We like pizza as well. But we also use that in American English as well. And then there's to meaning excessively. When to is used like this, the modified word can be followed by to plus the infinitive. For example, the ice cream is too sweet to eat all of it. Without the infinitive, you can say the ice cream is too sweet. He's too tall to stand in front for the group photo. He's too tall. The coffee is too hot to drink. The coffee is too hot. Pro tip: be careful with using the word to because it implies a negative thing. For example, I ate too much and now I'm sick to my stomach. That's a bad thing. You can't say, I'm too happy, because that would mean you shouldn't be that happy. So remember, to can mean also or as well, and it can be a negative thing, as in too much of something, which is bad. Now with the adverb very, that means extremely or really. The adverb very is placed before the adjective or adverb it modifies to make its meaning stronger. For example, I'm very tired, meaning I'm exhausted. But you wouldn't say I'm very exhausted, because exhausted means very tired. And remember, exhausted is better than very, very tired. She's very short. You wouldn't say she's very extremely short, because extremely short means very short. And again, extremely short is the same as very, very short, but you don't say that to someone. You don't say, you're very, very short. You can describe someone by saying, she's very short. That's okay. Now let's look at adverb clause of purpose or reason. An adverb clause of purpose or reason is a clause that tells us the reason the action is happening. An adverb clause cannot be by itself as a sentence. It must be a part of the sentence. An adverb clause of reason usually starts with a subordinating conjunction, like because, as, since, and that, for example. Let's look at these sentences. I swim because I enjoy it. My dad says that you are the one to talk to. He works nights since he attends class during the day. An informal style, so that, is more common than in order that. Some expressions are usually followed by a modal auxiliary verb such as will, can, or may. For example, she wants to study in England so that she can perfect her English. We're starting now so that we'll get there before sunset. Using infinitive verbs to form adverbs is just the basic form of a verb, to, and a verb, or action. For example, to eat, to play, to work, to sleep, to dance. You can use the infinitive verb to form an adverb clause of purpose or reason. For example, she runs fast to catch the bus. Do you see the infinitive? To catch. Dad walks outside to get the newspaper. To get. She goes home at 5 p.m. to cook dinner. To cook. Adverb clauses are used in adverb phrases. What is an adverb phrase? An adverb phrase is a group of words in a sentence that acts like an adverb. For example, I work there. In this sentence, the word there is an adverb. This answers the question, where? You could replace there with a group of words or a phrase and say, I work in the building on the opposite side of the street. Here are some more examples of adverb phrases. Can you find the phrases? I sold my house 3 months ago. 3 months ago. She fell asleep working at her desk. Working at her desk. For now, I would like to study Chinese. For now. She was doing it for her brother. For her brother. Every now and then, they go out to dinner. Every now and then. Without a doubt, he won't be happy. Without a doubt. Dad fixed the bike with a wrench. With a wrench. For a list of adverbs and more information on adverb phrases, visit EnglishFunZone.com. Order of adverbs. If you use more than one adverb in a sentence describing a verb, they usually go in this order: manner, place, frequency, time, reason, or purpose. It's uncommon to use all 5 types of adverbs to modify the same word. If a sentence uses 2 or more adverbs, it's good to follow this order to sound like a native speaker. For example, she runs quickly outside every morning before work to keep in shape. Bob eats there every day after work. When there is more than one of the same type of adverb, we order them based on how specific the information is. The most specific adverb is placed first. For example, she runs outside at 6:30 before work to keep in shape. Bob eats at the same table at the restaurant every day after work. The Cambridge Dictionary also lists these adverb phrases. I'll post the link in the description box below, but let's take a look at it. Adverbs of focusing. They usually go in mid-position. He simply walked out without saying a word. Adverbs of certainty or obligation. Some go in mid-position, probably, possibly, certainly. Others go in front position, maybe, perhaps, or at the end, after a comma. For example, it'll probably rain. Maybe Nick will know the answer. Can I get you a drink or something to eat, perhaps? Adverbs of viewpoint. They usually go outside the clause, often at the beginning. They can sometimes go in mid-position, especially in informal writing. The examples are, personally, I'd rather not go out. This must frankly be the craziest idea anyone has ever had. Frankly is the adverb, not a name. Adverbs to evaluate. They usually go outside the clause, often at the beginning. They can also sometimes go in mid-position. In formal speaking, they can go in the end position. For example, unfortunately, I forgot my swimming costume. Well, in America, we say swimsuit. Unfortunately, I forgot my swimsuit, so I had to sit on the side and watch. We have stupidly forgotten the tickets. They missed the bus, apparently. Adverbs of duration. They usually go in the end position. I'm not staying long. And if you like this video, check out the other grammar videos, and you'll find the royal order of adjectives in this video. Thanks for watching, my students, and please keep practicing. Bye!